Alrighty, welcome back for more Path of Exile. So right now what I want to do, since I will be getting another Ascendancy and I want to keep my damage up pretty high, what I went ahead and did is I wanted to look for a brand new bow. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Path of Exile trade website. Keep in mind, everything that I'm giving you is optional. Don't feel like you have to get this upgrade now. It's just something that I personally want to do. So what I'm going to look for is I'm going to go to item category. I'm going to type in bow. I'm also going to look for one that has a minimum of 5 links. So I'm going to put 5 links in over here. And I'm not going to worry too much about the colors because bows generally will roll green better. And I'll use some of my currency and maybe we can get something good. And what I want to do is I also want to add into the filter, I only want to play 1 Chaos Orb. So like I'm only really looking for cheap stuff. Then I'm going to go to DPS and sort it by the highest amount of damage. Now I could also technically, if I want to, if I really want to go for 6 sockets, we could look for that as well. So there's 549 is the top DPS right now, but if I type in 6 sockets, let's see if we can find a 6 socket that's relatively similar. This one's actually pretty good too for only 1 Chaos Orb. So if I wanted to go for this one, it's got lightning damage. I'm scaling lightning pretty much. Technically right now it's all elementals in terms of damage, which is really good, and that's why I recommended this build because it's relatively easy. If I wanted to go for one that had 5 links, that had no 6 sockets, because the difference of getting an extra socket, for me it's an extra 100 points of the accuracy, which it can be worth it because this is all 6 green, which would give me technically 600, but I want to have at least 3 green. It's kind of up to you on what you want. Do you want more damage, or do you want to have the extra socket for 100 more accuracy? It depends on what you actually want. Getting 100 accuracy is pretty easy though, so I'm going to look for whatever I can that has specifically ideally, if we can get it to have extra lightning damage, that would be great. And also, I don't really want anything that's corrupted, because if I want certain colors, that can make things a little bit more difficult. But this one has a red, which allows me to add elemental damage with attacks, which is 1 support gem that I would really like to have. So this could be an option for 1 Chaos Orb, or I can get the other one over here. That's 1 Chaos Orb, that's 6 sockets, but it's got lightning damage. I kind of want this one, so I'm going to go ahead and just direct whisper. Hopefully this guy will be here. And I will show you also in a tool called Path of Building. So we're getting more and more complex with our character here. And what you can do if you want to, there's a lot of different tools with Path of Exile. I put it in the pinned comment in the part 1, where if I want to, I can what's called copy this item right here, and I can import it into another program while we wait for this guy to maybe respawn. So you can see I'm able to paste the item here. If I click copy, on the trade website, I can paste the item over here, and then I can add it to the build, and then I can select the other item. So I can basically see what my DPS is. So if I'm running Roth's Reach, which is our current bow, and I swap it to the other one, you can see the DPS is basically double, and I haven't even put in the socket yet. Now this guy looks like he might not respond, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. We can just go to maybe someone else. I can look at the next one over here, which we'll refresh this because sometimes it takes a second to refresh. As maybe the item is sold or whatever the case may be. The difference in DPS right here is literally 9, so we can get this one. This gives us 24 accuracy. We have bleed chance. Okay, not too bad. It's got okay physical damage, and we convert 50% of it, so that'll be all right. The difference in damage, we're not really losing any damage here, so we can whisper this guy if I want to go ahead and keep the current sockets. If I really want to push for a little bit more damage, what are we getting in terms of more damage? Almost 100. That's like 20% more damage if I was to, let's say, whisper this one. So let's go ahead and refresh this, sort them by DPS. Remember, this might not be the true DPS because we might be scaling a certain element more than another one, but this one, unfortunately, doesn't have lightning. This one's corrupted. I don't really want to mess with corrupted stuff if I want certain colors. I'm going to go ahead and whisper this guy, and we'll see if we can get this one. If we can't, no big deal. I'll whisper the next guy, and we kind of just go down the list. Okay, so cool. 1 Chaos Orb is something that most of you guys can't afford, so yeah, that's why we decided to go for it. So once again, we'll teleport towards the player, and I'll also talk about a upgrade on Amulet here. So this one, we will need to actually obviously reach the level. We're 10 levels behind, but that's okay. Sometimes I like to set things up for later, but it's also to show you guys like what you could look for in terms of upgrades, because we will be doing another trial, which will give me the chain, which is the reason why I love Roth's Reach. Another huge upgrade would be a enchanted amulet. So let's go to the trade website. And oh, by the way, if you want to know what the Roth DPS was, it's 68. 68 compared to like 400 is a huge difference, but the thing is that Roth's Reach has chain and plus elemental damage that's like through the roof, which is actually pretty good. But let's go ahead and actually look for a very specific amulet. So now what we're going to look for, and I want to try to equip this now if we can. So we are level 47. So I'm going to type in like requirements maximum level 50 so we can hopefully use it pretty soon. So I want an amulet that has enchant. So I'm going to put, oh, actually we type in allocate. And then we're going to select allocates, and then you'll see it like the number sign. And then we want Cascade. I think it's Vengeance Cascade that gives you the additional projectiles return. Okay, so this is the cheapest order right now is 2 Chaos Orbs. This one's not that great in terms of like other stats, but keep in mind if you can get one of these that has Vengeance Cascade as the modifier, it's really big because what happens with this is it's returning projectiles pierce all targets, and on top of that, attack projectiles return to you from final target. This is big. This basically increases your DPS a ton, but that's something that we'll get later. So pretty much that's what we're going to be looking for in terms of upgrades. I'm okay on resistances right now. I'm going to throw this back in here. I don't think I'm going to like sell it or anything. Sometimes what I do is like if people want to make other builds in like the guild, we can throw it in the guild stash and it'll help them out. But let's get started right now with Act 6, which is Part 6. Keep in mind your resistances did go down, so if you did want to change up your resistances, that is a option. So right now we have Inspiration and Steel Skin. I'm going to remove the Inspiration, and I'm going to get a Orb of Alchemy if we have one. If we don't happen to have an Orb of Alchemy, we do have one. We could go to the vendor and get an Orb of Alchemy if we want to do it that way. In Act 4, now we can go back if we want to purchase this gem. This is also optional, but I want to go ahead and purchase Cast When Damage Taken support. So what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to have Cast When Damage Taken Steel Skin. So it'll activate up to level, it'll say, where is it? In the first line of blue text, this gem can only support skill gems requiring level 44 or lower. So we have it combined with Steel Skin. What this makes it do is I no longer have to activate Steel Skin. It's going to activate on its own automatically, which is fantastic. I still like to have it on my mouse left click. The reason why is I like to know when it's actually activating, which is just a little bonus here. But now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and finally start on this act. I don't have a spot for my, let's see, elemental damage with attacks. I still want to level that up. Let me see if I can go purchase like another item here that will allow me to throw in some extra gems. So I'm going to purchase items. Hopefully I can find another like one-handed item with 3 sockets that we can use. Unfortunately, there are none. I mean, I could use Jeweler's Orb on it, but like it's really not worth it. Ideally, I just want to have one more red and then like whatever other color would be. Okay, I guess we can get, let's see.
Farewell.
Go back to this and see. Okay, he's got 1. It was 1 transmute, but I just want to level this up in addition to still leveling up my elemental damage with inspiration because I moved one of the gems out over there. Okay, now let's finally continue. But we're still also live streaming over on Twitch, so if you want to come by, feel free to come by if you have questions on the game. But hello Blue, hello Large, hello Nianos. It's difficult because the game controls better on PC. Yeah, I would agree. I haven't played console, but being able to aim is very important in certain builds. And with controller, I think it just auto aims to your nearest target. You could play with controller on PC as well. So right now what we're looking for is the skill point quest. We're just going to go from the coast and just keep on killing stuff. And we'll just move on away from the waypoint, or not waypoint, but the entrance here. Oh, now we have Second Wind. Cool. So that was one of the gems that was a support gem that we moved together. So there's 2 different exits here. There's the Tidal Island, and there is the Mud Flats. So if we go to the Mud Flats over here, that's where we want to go. The other area we don't need to go, as we don't want the that path. What we're looking for is basically a elite enemy, and once we defeat the elite enemy, there's going to be an eye that drops So this one? This is a 9-heart monster, not this one. But hopefully today, well, not in this part of the video if you're watching this on YouTube, but like if you're watching this on Twitch, like hopefully today we'll get to the end of the game, which is like the map system, which is what I am all about. Oh, Chaos Orb, nice. So I believe one of the cheapest ones was like 3 or 5 Chaos Orbs. That was kind of okay. Wait, why is Einhar in here? Wait, Einhar can actually be in here? Interesting. Okay. So what we do for Einhar's mission, you don't have to do it. But you're just looking to kill enemies, and eventually you'll get them captured. You weaken an enemy, and then he walks up and he captures them. He does a little bit of damage, but it's definitely pretty slow. But yeah, I'm really excited. We got this new bow, and it's going to be great in 10 levels. And you can wait to buy it. Honestly, waiting to buy it is totally okay. I just try to prep you guys in preparation. Because usually what happens is there's lots of what's called hand-me-downs in Path of Exile. Ooh, look, we just leveled up. Everything is ready to go.
My mana is gone.
Okay, Eye of Conquest. So that's what we needed, and this is what it looks like. It's just we're looking for an elite that drops it. That one's kind of strong. And we put the eye inside this thing, and then we get to go to the forest. So we're going to be coming up to a boss over here. We have a skill point, and so last time we left off, we were just about to get this, which is giving us 100 accuracy per socket on the equipped bow, and then we're just going to hit accept. It's not going to give us any massive amount of like damage bonus, but it now has the number of 3,200 in terms of our accuracy, because we have like bonus percent accuracy, which is excellent. So now I'm going to be focusing in more on HP. Our damage obviously is a-okay. We're through the roof. We're looking for, once we're in the Curry Fortress, we want to look for Tukahama's Keep, and then we're going to be fighting a boss over here. So Tukahama has a mechanic. He summons a bunch of these totems, and eventually you're going to not be able to deal damage towards him. He has a totem that just basically spins in a 360. It's very slow, especially for our movement speed. And eventually he cannot take any damage until we kill certain totems. These totems are linked to him. You'll see the indication of a blue line if you need to find, where the totem's at. And our ice golem died, so let's revive it. So you have to kill the totems first in order to damage him. He's a pretty easy boss overall, though, because he's like slow. But for some melee builds, yeah, this is why I always say don't play melee in PoE for a beginner. You really need to know what you're doing with melee, and on top of that, to get melee up, and especially to play like some of the newer stuff this league, it's very, very expensive, which means you're going to have to grind a lot if you really want to play it. There are certain items like Awakened Multi-Strike, which it's really not realistic for a beginner player to get. They're very, very expensive. But they're fun, for sure. So, our helmet, I think it's still okay. I believe at level 50, we can think about getting an upgrade. We'll get no movement speed, but we'll get an insane amount of survivability, which is something I'm thinking about doing. So now we are at the ridge. So one thing that's cool once we kill that boss, which I'll show the mechanic a little bit later on, which did we need to talk to Sid? Okay, we just have to talk to Tarkin for a reward. Okay, cool. Which is the one we just got. Transmutations. Because you can talk to a NPC.
My mana is gone.
Ooh. Oh, is it penetrating? Oh, I don't really want the Pierce's additional target. We can, I believe, Vol and Corrupt it off, but do I really want to do that after rolling something good? Sure, we can maybe see if it's good. It's not too bad. If it rolled life on it, it would be actually not too bad if you wanted Pierce. I don't want Pierce, though. Like I said, the reason why you don't want it is because you want Chain. Chain is superior. summon an Ice Golem. And if you do happen to have another blue gem link that's free, what you can do also is put in minion life support. Or there's another one called Meat Shield, which also increases its tankiness. But we're going to have to resummon him pretty consistently. It's just the thing. We can also activate a cast when damage taken and throw it on, so he basically gets resummoned, which we can do later on. I just don't happen to have the blue link right now, so we'll have to manually summon the guy. We are just mowing down content. Feels good. Alright. Next skill point over here. Like I said, we're going to be starting to scale life a little bit more. So I'm also going to get this plus 50 to life over here. I'm going to hit accept. Bam. It's going to be a nice little chunk of life. And now we are in the lower prison. We're going to be using this for our Trial of Ascendancy. So we're going to be looking for another one of those little puzzles. Ooh, watch out for these guys. The guys that have the giant, like, blue circle. That's Mana Siphon. That's no fun. Because what happens is you're just going to get sucked from your mana. You're just basically going to deplete your mana. And sometimes what happens is then you can't attack. And then if you can't attack, well, you die. The Trial of Ascendancy is over there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And with our second trial, we can get Chain. And then we can drop our bow. That's why I'm like looking to drop the bow pretty soon. That's why I kind of got that right now. At the start of the little play session here. This is a mechanic. We'll talk more about it later when the time comes. But if you want to like engage with it, you kind of put these little dynamites down, you explode it, and the monsters come out and you kill the monsters. But this act is pretty much average. It's about almost an hour-ish, depending on how fast we do things. So. Oh wait, we need to do the thing. Where was it? Is it past here? Ah, it's past it. So yeah, we're gonna go do the Trial of Ascendancy, and then we're gonna go. All right. See, these things hit pretty hard. And that's going to open up that gate. And take your time when doing these. I know I rush them every single time I say it, but it always feels bad to die. This one does it in a checkered pattern, but you can just dash right up. Or if you want to get a skill called Blink Arrow, that can be okay. And this time we don't have to do 6, we only have to do, I believe, 3 more. And then we do another 3 more, and then the last one, we don't even have to do another one. So there's a total of 4 trials. Each time we do one, it's a big, massive upgrade. That's on fire. About to explode. And now we're in the tower, so we're just going to keep on going up. And eventually we're going to come up to a boss. You might see a familiar face here too. And later with these flasks, we're going to get these enchantments on them, basically. That make it so we don't even have to activate our flask. They activate automatically, and it is one of the nicest things in the entire game. It is so massive. Throwing on some turrets for this guy. He's a little bit more tanky. But it's okay, we're getting a new weapon pretty soon. At 58, we get to double our DPS. But we will lose out on some accuracy. Ideally, we're going to try to get 3 greens out of this. I mean, later down the line, once we hit that level, we should probably have bought it later, but it's okay. Sometimes I just like to buy things now, so when we hit the level, we could just zoom, zoom, go, go, go. I wanted to buy a couple things at the same time, but that amulet, it's iffy on the price. Some items, people just sell them for really cheap. All I'm really looking for is that one specific modifier. If I can get plus life and resistance, that could be okay too. In fact, if we swap off our amulet, we will be a-okay on resistance because we still have, we are 26 in the overcapped. Because we have 101 fire resistance, but 75 can only be used. There is a way to increase your resistances past 75, but you cannot have 100%. I believe 90 is the most you can get. There might be some other like weird ways where you can get damage conversion, but... And eventually we're going to go into crit, which will be quite nice. Because if we were to go into crit right now, could maybe push like 20 to 30% crit. But once we're at 50%, like potential crit is where like I feel like crit becomes so much more valuable. Once again, we're fighting Shav. She returns. That's the boss where there's a bunch of books and the books explode, so don't stand on the books. You just kind of keep moving and you'll be okay. But yeah, I think the damage is still totally okay, and this is also Brutus. He gets reassembled too. Everyone comes back. So my suggestion against Brutus is kind of the same. Basically, don't be within line of sight of looking directly at him. You can hit him from the side, but directly at him, he does this like ground slam, which causes spikes to come out. But we'll probably replace this bow relatively soon. 9 more levels. And we could also look at upgrading the gloves as well, because we don't need this accuracy. In fact, what we could be looking at is flat damage on the gloves. I think Ondar's were still like one of the best. Thunder Fist would be excellent, but those are going to be very expensive, and I'm pretty sure we don't have the level requirement. But if you do get lucky and you're like, I got a bunch of Chaos Orbs, I'm not sure that, you know, the price at the moment, but things can fluctuate. Upgrade. Oh, man cake? Oh, I got you. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so we're doing a delirium mechanic, where we just basically just go. It's like that donut that opens up. So what we're looking for in the Prisoner's Gate, we're actually looking for a different... Is it right here? I believe it's right here. Or is it? Do we go to the Western Force? I'm pretty sure it's here. So we'll look for it. There's another boss. There's a box. So open it up. Our damage is still pretty good. Got a shrine. When it says "Fear not the elements," that's a resistance shrine. If you want to click on it, it'll tell you what it gives you. But it gives you a bunch of resistances. We're at 85%. So we're not going to be really taking that much damage at all. Here we go. I was correct. We're looking for Valley of the Fire Drinker. If you want to end the delirium mechanic, just hit the little like skip, and it'll give you the rewards. And none of these were really that great, to be honest. But maybe this bow will change my mind. We'd have to roll everything to be insanely powerful. Like getting a 5-link, comparing that, like we could get maybe a chest piece that's a 5-link. But the chest piece that we're running right now, it's so good. We can use it basically till we get to what's called the end game. So this boss over here, he jumps up and down, and he'll eventually go away, and you're going to have to go to the second phase of the boss. So just keep on going, we just leveled up. We are moving so fast.
My mana is gone.
Shot. Keep on getting some upgrades. Ooh, he hit us. Well, generally we won't get hit too often with this build, but when we do get hit, it can be pretty big. So now we can exit this area and just keep on going. Now we want to go to this next area. Oh, got some armor scraps and stuff. Okay. Just make sure your resistances are capped. Have you seen the new expansion for Cyberpunk? I have. I'm actually excited about that game as well. I mean, I wish that game had... I mean, it's cool that it has, like, the loot, but I really wish the inventory, like, really branched out in that game. That'd be really cool. Alright, one other thing that we could take a look at is a item that has Corrupted Blood immunity. It will be very, very powerful. But I also want more life. So, anytime you need a certain thing, whether it's life, whether it's more damage, you could just type in what you're looking for. Maybe you want a certain element damage. I mean, right now... we're just going for all elemental damage, and the reason why I don't specifically go for like any like cold or whatever is because I'd rather just get all of them, because it's definitely worth it. You can see Some of them, they'll have certain tags where it's like life recovery. Life recovery is not going to be too useful for us with flasks because we're going to run a flask that just gives us instant recovery versus like recovery over time for the most part. I mean, technically you can still get more depending on what the flask is, because some of them will give you like a small boost, some will just be activating instantly. I really like getting, there's a lot of nodes over here that are great, but we can also get this reservation efficiency, and all of these are actually really good to grab because it gives us a bunch of life. And then there's another evasion mastery. In fact, there's also there's another evasion mastery somewhere around here that we can grab if we want to. The other evasion thing that we can get for mastery is 100% increased evasion rating from our body armor. That one's okay, especially earlier on. And then also Grace has mana reservation efficiency. That can be another great node to get as we're getting a lot of movement speed. I think we're going to go over here. It's kind of up to you what you want to go for. I mean, you're going to definitely want to go and grab these. And we could actually path over here and respec out of this if we want to go ahead and do so. And we will do that later. But since I'm pretty satisfied with most of the things right now, we got most of these masteries. There's a few resistance nodes over here that we can get that are okay. That also give us evasion rating. Oh, okay. Here's the other evasion one. I like to actually path up over here because there is a few nodes that I want to get here, and there's what's called that's like Lionized Fall.
Hello, Bozo.
Which is great.
Action is coming.
But yeah, action will be coming. So yeah, I'm gonna path up this way, and there's also this extra intelligent node.
Hi, sisters.
Okay, you having some fun with the sounds there? All right. But yes, let's continue. We just got basically the dexterity one. You can get the spell suppression if you want to. It's not bad. We're gonna eventually get it, but I like to get the HP and stuff first. But we'll get that extra evasion one, and it will also get extra resistances. So it's more survivability, and then also. Okay, so Tujin we will do. I'll show off how this mechanic works. So this is Tujin. This is called the Expedition League. So what we do to interact with him, we talk to him. If you see Tujin, you pretty much want to do it almost every single time. So how this mechanic works is you're going to click on this or whatever hotkey you have set. You're going to read what these have because it's going to summon monsters when you pop these, as well as these little, like, you can see there's a little chest here. You'll get rewards. What you're looking for is additional currency items. That's one of the best. Hits against monsters can't be crit, but we get 60% XP. We want to try to get as much as we can in these little circles here. And these matter the order that you get them in. So I'm going to, like, let's say, for example, I want this one. I'm going to try to hit both of these at once. And this one over here, we have additional currency items. Let's go ahead and select that one. And then we have this one that we can get. So they'll drop additional jewelry item. I don't have any chaos resistance, so it doesn't really matter. But they're still going to penetrate it anyways. I'm going to try to grab this. So I'm getting as much rewards as I possibly can. We're going to hit detonate, and a bunch of these monsters will come out. Some of these can be very, very difficult. So if you die during these, don't worry. There's no real penalty. You can still come in. Some league mechanics, once you do them and you fail, you lose everything. Like Ultimatum was like that, which is one of my favorite leagues of all times. You will also get some small currency that you use for him and him only. So do we get anything good? Not really, honestly. But this is our first mechanic. So how he works is we haggle for items. So if I move my face out of the way, you can see all these items that he offers. You can see he wants 114 of these. I can make an offer of something less. Like, for example, I could take these two. I'm going to try to haggle. So I'm going to offer him like a lower amount. Usually you can go to about like 1/3.
Are you having a go at me?
And see, oh, it costs 75. But if we haggle too many times, he will just remove the item. He'll get mad.
It's worth far more than that. Okay.
We got the 5 Chaos Orbs. Now, I could offer him 1, but there's no way. You don't want to go below like 1/3 of what he's asking for the price because he'll just remove the item. But getting that 5 Chaos Orbs, that was amazing. Now we can get maybe even a 6-link bow, and I can just go resell this. But these are the currencies we have, and you just do more of the mechanics. He's very, very, very rewarding. He's actually the only one that I actually will stop and do. It is very time-consuming to do what's called Expedition. Some people don't like it. And the reason why some of those things that you get, like the monsters, come out and they'll be completely immune to 1 tap of damage. Like they'll be completely immune to lightning, completely immune to cold, physical, chaos. They can be immune to a lot of different things. But we're in the Western Forest over here. Okay. And then we're just going to keep on going. But yeah, going back to Cyberpunk, since we're kind of briefly talking about that, I did enjoy the game. I went back and replayed the game. The world of Cyberpunk is so amazing. It's just the inventory. It didn't have the amount of complexity that I wanted. The skill tree in that game is just numerical stats. No insane big brain plays, I feel like, compared to like Path of Exile, where we can get like, instead of mana, we just use HP as mana. Like there's like a lot of things that would have been really cool. Augments and stuff like that. I feel like they missed out on a lot of stuff. Anyways, back to Path of Exile here. We're going back to town since we just got the waypoint, and we're going to have a bunch of skill points. Now, since I got 5 Chaos Orbs, I'm going to buy a bow. If I can get a 6-link one, that would be not bad. We're going to talk to all the NPCs, get these skill point quests. Bam, bam.
Welcome.
We have another reward here. Now, as far as the reward goes with this guy, if you see any rewards that have red, blue, and green, you can also sell it for the chromatic orb, which is usually what I do, because usually I can get better items than what he gives. But yeah, anyways, next up, we're going to get these two. I'm just going to be able to max out my resistance. As you can see, I'm a little shy on cold and lightning. It's not that big of a deal, but I want the evasion mastery to get an additional huge amount of evasion. My evasion rating is really good right now. I have 70% chance to not get hit anyways, but getting an additional huge boost of 100% increased, well, it's what's the exact word? 100% increased evasion rating from our body armor. It's a nice little boost, and we can also get grace reservation efficiency, so it uses a little bit less, which is awesome. And then we'll start pathing up here. And what we're going to do eventually is we're going to unspec. We're going to remove all 3 of these points. These are damage leached as mana. And we're going to have damaged as life and mana up here. And then we're going to get some extra life. And it's just going to make us really tanky. And then if we want to get some more life, there's a couple life nodes over here that we can grab. There's extra, it's crit and physical. That's damage over time. We can actually grab a lot of these. These are all great nodes as well over here. But specifically, I need to get this, and if we're going to get this jewel socket, it depends how much this item called Lionized Fall is, because it fluctuates. Sometimes it can be very cheap. In fact, let's just go check out. What it does is it makes it so all of these claws and dagger masteries, they all get changed into bows. And it's cool because, like, if I want to keep these claw masteries, I can do so because I'm going to swap into Venom Gyre if I want to, which is another really great build. It's one of the best builds in the game, but I always recommend bow at the start because, one, it's super cheap, it's beginner friendly, and I don't know, people tend to like bows. So now that we have a little bit more currency, we have, what, 7 Chaos Orbs off the top of my head? If I want to, we can go look for a 7-linked bow. Again, these are all optional. I probably can't equip it anyways, but I'm just trying to prep you guys, and we'll also check out kind of the price. So we want to look for a bow. And we've got 7 Chaos Orbs. And I think we could probably get a 7-link bow. Let's see, for DPS, sort it by DPS. Bam, right there. Ideally, if we saw one that had no corruption, we would buy it. And the reason why I want no corruption, or if it has the correct colors are, at least right now, it's going to be 3 green, 1 blue, 1 red. And then this one has an additional blue, but this one can be used, and the reason why I know that it can be used is because I can do crit damage and crit multi on it, and then I can do elemental damage with attacks. But I wanted to have specifically, lightning damage, because that's what I want to scale because of impulsive. But this is like an okay item. It's a 596 DPS, and it requires us to be 57, which is actually lower than the current one, which can be okay, but I just don't happen to have the Vol Orb to change the colors, so it's kind of annoying. So I'm just gonna keep on the lookout. I just ideally want one that has like a decent amount of lightning damage, or one, yeah, lightning damage, non-corrupted, or very high physical, because I can convert the physical into lightning. So this one over here, no lightning damage. I mean, if I really wanted the lightning damage, I would just go add this stat, lightning damage, and then we would just what's lightning damage? Let's just type in like 100, because I'm not going to be too picky earlier on. Oh, what? Oh, it's 2 attacks. There we go. Because if you just type in lightning damage, it'll count spells as well. So we're just looking for a decent amount of lightning damage. This one is so dang low that I'm still going to sort by DPS, but ideally it's non-corrupted. Let's see if we can see any non-corrupted. Pretty much at this price point, because I put the price point of I only want to spend 7 Chaos Orbs, they're almost all going to be corrupted. But we can also, there's a tick box. We can go to the top where I go to show filters, and then we're going to go to corrupt, if I can spell, corrupted. We're going to select no, and there might be 0. Okay, there's actually 0. So they're all going to be corrupt. Okay, well, what I need for colors, I need to have at least 3 green. Let's see, because I want to run Mirage Archer. I want to run lesser multiple projectiles. Now, obviously, I want to run Lightning Arrow. Those, I can't take them out. I want those 3 greens. Then, as far as the other colors, I would ideally like to have 1 red for inspiration, and 2 blue would be okay as well. But I'm not going to be too picky. This is our like early game bow. Let's see if we can see anything good. Okay, we got kind of 2 options here. They're both really bad for lightning damage, and the DPS is so low. I mean, our other one's currently 430. It's not going to be really worth it, in my personal opinion, to spend all of our currency. However, if we can get an amulet that has the allocates, we're looking for Cascade, Vengeant Cascade, and we have 7 Chaos Orbs. Let's see if we can see any that are good. So what we're looking for is adds damage to attacks, preferably any resistances. This one's okay too. This one's got some resistance, but the rest of the stats, I can't really use, like the energy shield. This is really weak, not too good. Increased damage, good. Increased strength just for extra stats, not too good as well. Increased cold damage, we get mana, not too great for us as well. Increased cast speed, we're looking for attack speed, not going to be useful. We've got lightning damage, we got life, we got 1 socket. Okay, this one's like pretty promising. It's small, but like, again, this is like a beginner item. Ooh, okay, this one might be okay. It has no life, dang. But it's got 8 to all res, which basically gets multiplied times 3, so it's like 24 to all 24 total resistances, which is not bad. Then it's got physical, then it's got lightning, and it's got crit strike chance. I mean, a lot of these stats are actually not bad, but I don't really need this item desperately right now, so I'm gonna skip out on it. I didn't see a bow that I really liked, and that can happen. So just keep in mind, sometimes that's just part of the process. You got to check out what's available. Sometimes you got to come back and check again. So now let's go ahead and continue on to the Riverways, because we're going to be doing the Puppet Mistress now. So that's the next quest, because we just did the Cloven one, which also grants us a skill point. Okay, our damage is still really, really awesome. We're about to get a bunch of level ups. But if I was to get an upgrade that wasn't my bow, like for 1 Chaos Orb, I could look at rings. Our rings are pretty outdated at the moment. Ideally, what we would look for is stat sticks on rings. So what that can mean is added elemental damage to attacks. We're really looking for flat numbers versus percent, because this doesn't give us any flat numbers realistically. It's a very small amount.
I'm not up to that just yet.
But it gives us a good large like bonus. It was like 60%, 72%. That can roll up to 80% on the highest one. And if you want to, you could theoretically run like Roth's Reach pretty much towards like the very end of the game, which is not bad at all. I like it. We're also eventually going to get Hydrosphere, but I like doing automation. Like before with Sniper's Mark, you know how we were casting it? There's a skill called Hydrosphere, which will throw out a giant sphere. If I had another blue, I'd run it right now to show you guys. But I don't have a socket. That one amulet did offer a socket, though. Okay, so we're looking for, not the southern forest, but there's another exit here. If I got the waypoint over here, I would go over there and try to get the next waypoint, but the waypoint will probably be over here. Oh, did we get the waypoint already? Oh, we got the waypoint already. Okay. Well, since I found that exit, we know where that exit's at. But we're looking for another exit. We're doing another boss, and it might be over here. Nope. I love being able to move super fast. It's so nice. Dang, it's really all the way over here? It's gotta be, my guess is it's over here. But sometimes you get unlucky. And you gotta do the whole loop. Ah, there it is. So what we're looking for is the wetlands. Now we're in the wetlands. We're gonna defeat the Puppet Mistress.
trophy will grow from your remains.
Alright, next level, yeah, we get a massive amount of bonus to evasion. Some more survivability. Compound bow. Right. Spawning ground. So how this boss works is there's 3 things to kill at the bottom. You might take some damage over time over here. If so, don't worry about it. There's like caustic ground, which makes you take like poison damage. That's fine. Okay. We don't really have any chaos res, but it's okay. We just kill it. Don't worry if you die on him. I don't worry about getting chaos resistance until like the end of the game. The reason why is because chaos resistance, the numbers that you'll get earlier on are going to be very, very like low for the most part, and you're probably going to replace a lot of your items very soon. We don't have our flasks up, which is kind of bad, but if you really want to, like, let's say we're like, oh dang, I don't really want to die over here. It wasn't really worth going back because the loading time was a little bit long, but you can refill your flasks up by just going back to town, which is excellent. You can also get a amethyst flask if you're really worried about chaos resistance. That's another like way that you can do it. Now we're gonna go back to town, and then we can get our skill point, and we're gonna teleport. Talk to one of these guys to get the reward. And another thing I should mention is, since that first boss that we kill with a little totem, we have something that is called the Pantheon. If we talk to Sin, we can open it up, and you'll see we can select these little rewards. So we can get less duration of Ignite on us, we can get, while stationary, we gain physical damage reduction, or we can have Life Flask, gain a charge every 3 seconds if we haven't used a Life Flask. I really like this one the most. Choose the one that you want, but another great one would be the less duration of Ignite, at least as of right now. Holding still, yeah, we don't hold still with this build. Not worth it. But yeah, we got another skill point, and now we are going to get ourselves some more evasion. So look at that. So right now we have 70% chance to evade. We have 4,400 evasion, but we're going to go and give it an additional amount. Even though we're only getting 2%, hey, it's all added up. All right, so now we're going back to Riverways, and we're going to go to the other exit this time. So we just do that one, and then we just have the, we just have the boss. Should we do some of these to see the levels? Let's see, I don't know how many of these we have saved, because we're coming pretty much towards the end of this one. Alright, so we can, we have 1 out of 8. I guess we can do some of these, just to check some of the rewards, as I want to do this kind of for a major treasure. I want to do this merchant. The merchants are actually really good. We have another skill point here. Okay, so we don't need to get the small one. It's 4 to all res. I like this because it gives us movement speed, and sometimes I like to go ahead and go over and get this additional accuracy, just so I can get the 5% movement speed. It's just like, it's a couple extra points, and I'd rather get the HP. And once we get over here, though, once we get this node, we're going to respec all 3 of these, and we're going to get all 3 of these. Because this one gives us life and mana for hit, which is excellent because we got so many of these projectiles shooting out. So let's continue. Oh, we got one of these meatballs. Let's go open up this Templar cache. These guys are tanky. Whoa, they really beefed them up. So we haven't done these in a while, but jeez. You know what I just noticed? Shooting really helps me control my character a lot easier. Oh, we just basically walk through. And let's get a reward. There we go. I gotta remember to do this. Purchase relics. 50 resolve. Okay. Recover 50% of your maximum resolve on entering a boss room. Oh, that one's really good. I just need 2! 2 more. Can I go back and... Is there like a go back? I need 2 more to get 50% increased damage. That's massive. I cannot forgo that. Like, no way. I know there's another one of these resolves. Yeah, the Templar caches. It's weird, like, you have to, like, open these, and you have to wait for, like, the coins to drop, and then you have to walk backwards, which is a really weird mechanic. It should be as soon as you open them, it gives you it. Dang, I just took, oh, it took 2 of the meatballs to the face. Okay, we're good, though, because the inspiration, which is, like, overshield, And I think it regenerates every single time we go to a next one. Alright, I'm buying that 50% damage. Getting that. Yes, dude. 50% more damage. Insane amounts. Oh, I want to go over here. And then the next one, you can see one fewer room ahead of the map. That's not really that bad. Okay, let's go and get this one. This room's reward's kind of mess so far, but I just want to get to the boss now. 50% more damage though. It's good. But once you get that extra like life on hit, oh man, it's gonna make things so much easier. So like kind of a boss over here. Ideally, we can maybe get a 4-linked chest, and we can have a 4-link in there as well, because we're going to be able to get another link. Or I could just link the chest piece if I want to, or link the other one, the ballista, and we'd have 2 4-links. But I'd say it's not really worth it. I'd say I'd rather have a 4-link, and then the main one is still the 5-link. Okay, so now the room is complete. Nice. Alright. Give me all those rewards. Woo! 75 the Aureus. Alright, so I guess that was all we could do right now. As far as the rewards go, are they really increasing? I like how we're getting upgrades. That's the whole point of continuously doing the brand new Sanctum mechanic. But as soon as we get that extra life regen, oh, this build's gonna be so good. The reason why, or not life regen, but the life on hit, it's just so big. Because when it's a flat number and there's a bunch of projectiles, it's great. Oh, we got sucked into this. Okay, well, let's get this. So you only get to see one of the rewards. Oh. I thought you could still select the rooms. Ooh. So the inspiration doesn't regen. Oh. I thought how that thing worked was on each, like, each time we went in, we would get that bonus. But that's not how it works. How it works is I think we have to complete the whole, like, maze to get it. Oh, damn, you got hit by that one. Oh, I could have just walked here. I don't even know if you can go from here and blink across. That'd be interesting. Okay, 3 chromes. I mean, these are all weak. I'll just take this right now because I don't really, like, it's not like big reward anyways. Alright, let's keep on going. Defeat the next boss. Orbit chance. Hello, Grim. How is the season so far? I mean, the build's good. The league mechanic, it's definitely a test of like actual skill versus like your build, because you actually have to dodge things. Unless you're playing melee in that case, well, you just. Sadly, I think it's just like terrible, because like they buffed melee this league a little bit in some sort of ways. They gave melee a couple things to play around with, but it's interesting the way they decided to handle the survivability and like how it works. But people would just build their characters to super tanky. I think they could have done that based on a timer too, so melee could actually play, because right now how it's set up is like, well, if you're playing melee, you just lose out. Okay. So we're gonna pick up the black flag, and we're just gonna go through the Cavern Anger. Remember, this is the same caves as Act 1. So if you see any of these, you can pick up these contracts. They're definitely worth doing. We'll talk more about it later. I just want to get through the campaign kind of right now, because it's more of an importance. But we can, since we're level 50, we can get Starkondras, get extra attack speed, more survivability. Or we can get Rat's Nest, which will give us massive amount of evasion. Do we want to do this? I guess we can, because we'll finish this act really soon. Alright. Ooh, I want the Chaos Orbs. Definitely. Oh, that's one. Chaos, and then another set of Chaos Orbs. Wow. Okay. Let's see if we can complete it. I wish we got to get extra resolve. I mean, I've seen people with like double the amount of resolve we have, but it just comes with keep on doing it. You'll eventually get, you know, more items and stuff. So you could just like walk through and it just gives you completion. It's kind of weird. Just go to the next. Ooh, the Sanctum. I mean, 4 Chaos Orbs would be pretty massive. I don't know if we're gonna get it, dude. I'll be honest, but the other rewards, not even close to getting 4 more Chaos Orbs, is worth, in my personal opinion. 4 Chaos. We actually just got 5 off Tudrin, and Tudrin's got another 2 Chaos Orbs waiting for us, potentially. So that will be good. Alright, we got the next waypoint. Something slowed us down a little bit there. Got some extra stuff. Some slow wisdoms. Okay, nothing too big, but I do really like this helmet though. It's keep granting us onslaught. There's other ways to grant yourselves onslaught too, though. Oh, I dropped a lot of those maces. He's gonna drop. This guy gonna drop more maces. Molten shell. Okay. So go watch out for that guy. That guy's gonna pop eventually, and you don't want to be around with him when he pops. Oh, we're coming up to our boss. All right. This one, I think how it works, if the first reward is like the Chaos Orb like it was, I think that means that we get the 1 Chaos Orb right now, which is what I'm going to select, because I'll be honest, I don't know if we're going to get the other one. The 4, that'd be really nice. But yeah, since we have so much movement speed, most of these puzzles, we're just like blazing through them. We don't even have to worry about it. Woo! There we go. All that movement speed put into use. But yeah, I don't know if you can you? What? You could just do this? Wow, that's kind of OP. Woo! We leveled up too. We just gotta be careful. Actually, let's go to the next room before we level up, so we could avoid all the potential, like just in case we get hit by something. So yeah, 1 more point, and then we're gonna use 3 respec points. All right, can we be tempted? Oh, 1 Chaos Orb. There we go. So I think I was correct.
Brutal.
Yes. Okay. And if we complete the 4, that's another 4 Chaos Orbs. Very nice for leveling. And we'll also go check bows later once we finish the act. What I like to do is you can have what's called the live trade up, and you could like snipe the items, but it's okay for me right now. And none of these items are like, oh my gosh, I need to get it right now. Like there'll be more later. As time progresses, more and more will be on the market, and what that usually means is the more that things exist, the cheaper the prices become. There's an app called Awaken PoE Trade, and it really helps out to kind of price your items. Let's grab this crafting recipe. Ooh, that guy's doing a massive amount of damage. Oh, that's bleed. That's a massive amount of bleed. So I'm going to stop moving for a second. Whew, that guy was doing... Yeah, he's got bleed. Bleed is very dangerous. So how this mechanic works once we get to the beacon is we're just going to stand inside the circle, and it's going to move. If we go outside, it goes backwards. We need to have both these beacons lit. It's really easy for this build because it's a ranged build. Because melee and PoE, it's the one that gets the least amount of love because, I don't know, they just want melee to be painful. But next level up will be very good. Once we get that 1 level up, it'll be super easy. Ooh, an ornate. Wait, is that a 5? 5 link? Unique? Nothing like this. Nothing really that great though, to be honest. We can maybe sell it for like 1 Chaos Orb, but we need to get better gloves. That's what I should be looking at. Yeah, definitely. We'll look for some better gloves, like literally like right now, after we complete this area and before we fight the boss. Oh yeah, we're about an hour in. We did a lot of the league mechanic too, and if we can find if we can fight the next boss, getting another 4 Chaos Orbs, ooh, we can maybe look at like a 6-link. I actually wouldn't mind getting a 6-link copy of Foxshade if it was like 2 or 3 Chaos Orbs. Or even, maybe even like 5 to 10 at most. The reason why is like, it gives us 30% movement speed. There's nothing that's giving us an additional 30 movement speed for the most part. Oh, there's a 6 socket item. If there's any 6 socket items, pick them up. We are going to sell them for some jeweler's orbs to the vendor. We'll move our items around in a second. Oh, whoops. That's a lot of extra damage. But no resistances, so. And no resistances, no life. Usually what people want is resistances and life on a quiver. Ideally, you can get like fire additional projectile. You can also get chain, which is massive. So let's move this over here. And we're going to get this staff. As we go over here, where the beacon is going to be lit, we just click on it, and we're going to talk to Waylem that comes down over here. We're going to be getting to the boss. But that's pretty cool. We get a 5-link. Now, can we really use this? I mean, it has armor and energy shield, so we can't really benefit off. But what it does offer us, 100% chance to create desecrated ground when we block desecrated ground. Lets us get some regen, which is kind of cool. But as far as it being actually worth anything, I can open up my Awaken PoE trade. I might actually have to update it, but I'll kind of show you guys how this app works. So I can take an item, right? I can scan it, and why is it not detecting the item? Oh, is it because it got updated? Okay. Well, it's not even looking at it to be 5-linked. I might actually have to use the website, or it's more so I'll have to update this like application that I use because there's a new league. But basically, it scans it and tells me how much it should be about worth. It's pretty accurate on uniques, but like certain yellow items, you can check in like what stats you want. And I'll show you guys more later, but it's a third-party application, and you won't get banned with it, by the way. That's like, but just be careful when you download third-party like applications, just with like anything. But the creators of this game are pretty cool, though. That they understand. There's lots of like different trade websites that are third-party too. ROG is okay if you want to learn how to do certain things. I'm not going to do ROG. I only do 2-gen for the expedition mechanic. ROG is for crafting. I mean, literally, it'd be like a several-hour video to explain how crafting works with like items with ROG. There's another website called Exile, which I'd have to pull up, and I'll talk more about it maybe later. Just right now, it's not worth showing a new player because the chances of you being able to get something, crafting, and understanding everything, it's hours of work. It's just how Path of Exile kind of is. Some of the mechanics, they are not beginner friendly at all. All right, so we're on the boss. Ideally, I kind of want to get this next level before we fight the boss. So I'm going to do that. So we'll go back in because we're like right there. We're 93%. So
My mana is gone.
not because I'm afraid I'm going to die, but I'd like to get that extra life leech. And we're at 99. Woo! Okay. So like I said, we were going to now unspec. So now that we have this skill point, we can go and grab this one, and then we are going to refund these 3. And we are going to get these 3. So we can get these 2, and then there's also one where we can get increased damage while recovering, which is like pretty much most of the time anyways. But I'm going to grab this. I like the amount of flat because so many enemies get hit by this. It's phenomenal, and we're going to grab all of these nodes as well. Okay, so we're on the boss now. Hopefully we can manage. So we get 4 Chaos Orbs and 3 Orbs of Alchemy if we complete this floor. Oh, man, I hope we can do it. Whew. Am I a Diablo player? Yes, I love Diablo. I play Diablo, all the Diablo games. I've uploaded tons of videos on all of them. Really stoked about D4. Ooh, we got hit by that. That hits for like 100. Woo! I'm gonna watch out for this one. So I think we just keep on moving and we'll be okay. But there's one move that he does where he like throws on a bunch of like spikes. So we're gonna be very cautious. Keep on summoning those totems.
These are flesh vessels, just like you.
Oh, he said Whoa, look at all those spikes. I have 34. So if I get hit once more, it's over. Can we do it? I mean, I don't think he's ever gonna like actually walk up and actually hit us. He's got a bunch of spikes that come down though. It's kind of hard to see. So I think this mechanic, as long as I stand here, we're okay. No, because it looked like the spike was going this way. So it's not pixel perfect. It actually goes like in a cone shape, which is unfortunate. But now we learned how that boss works. And sometimes how Path of Exile works is you learn through death.
I'm not up to that just yet.
But like we still haven't died at all. Like our deaths are still technically 0. It's just that in that mechanic you have like that little other bar of energy. But normally when you die you lose some XP. It really doesn't matter until you hit like level like 80, 90s, like in terms of losing XP. We're coming up to the act boss. Oh, we were supposed to get another like item. Here, we can go back to town right now while she's talking. Alright. So, we're pretty close to being able to use the bow. But on top of that, there's like an NPC we can talk to.
I'll be here when you need me.
Alright, so this item, I'm just going to throw in my stash right now. Oh, we got a unique amulet too. Is this really good? Let's see. So it gives us some 1% life on kill, grants onslaught to nearby enemies on kill. This is basically like, as far as I'm aware, this isn't really worth anything. I can use my scanner tool. It's like worth 1 orb of alchemy. I would rather, because it's probably not going to sell, I'd rather just sell this and get or alchemy shards, and then eventually we can get an orb of alchemy once we get 20 of the shards. We have 17 here and 16 here. Put this in, it's going to convert it for me. This item over here, it could maybe be worth 1 chaos. We'll talk more about selling items later. It's just we don't need to do it right now. Oh, so a 6-socketed item, not 6 linked. 6 linked, you used to be able to get a divine orb from it, but now with a 6 linked item, you can trade it and get some fusers. But a 6 socket will give you 7 jeweler's orbs. It's worth it. Just trade it to an NPC. Okay.
Good tidings to you.
But if it's a 6 linked item, you're probably better off, depending on the item, especially earlier on, you're better off actually, I'm just going to throw a bunch of stuff over here so they're out of the way. And we'll talk more about like the heist contracts later. But you'll get more value out of like selling it to a player, like a 6 link, most 6 links at the moment. Okay, so I really want to get some better gloves. We are, how much accuracy rating do we have? We have 2,200, so we're pretty safe on getting more accuracy. So what would I actually want? Well, we can look for a stat stick so we can get extra life. This one has life. We actually already got resistances, but it's always good to get more resistances because later down the line we're going to get even more negative resistances. So what we're going to look for is we're going to type in gloves. We're going to go to resistance with no S, a total number of resistance, and then we're going to go to life. We all want pseudo. Pseudo means that it can count as like all resistance works as like resistance versus like a flat one. So what we're looking for is, let's say like 2 to 3 chaos orbs as the max price. We're going to see the one that gives us the most resistance. Hopefully we can still use it. Right now this is level 59. So and ideally we would want something that has like 2 green sockets, so having it have evasion could be a nice little benefit. In terms of life, we want actually at least 50 life, because you can get plus like 10 strength and it'll give you like a couple life off of it. So yeah, we want this number to be at least like, let's say like 80. Let's see if we, okay, now we only have 11 results. You kind of want to just keep on making that number go up until you only see a certain amount, and then you can kind of gauge on what you want from there. So basically, what I'm personally looking for is one that has as much resistance as possible. You can look for most amount of life if you want. But I also want to look for anything that could be of a benefit to us. So like right now, this gives us some extra lightning damage. Okay, cool. I can replace the lightning damage. Can I hit Control F and look up accuracy? No, none of these have accuracy. It happens. Sometimes you have to scroll down for more. Oh, this one has 2. Ooh, that's actually not bad at all. It's got 200 accuracy rating. It's got this one. This one is literally really nice for our character. It's got 2 major resistances, like a pretty good amount. Later we'll get some more gloves, but these are going to be fantastic for our character right now. For 3 chaos orbs, there's also a mechanic called Rampage that I believe maybe he corrupted these into. But once it's corrupted, we can't really mess with it, which is okay in this circumstance because it's not really worth using currency. But yeah, these are all fantastic stats. So we're going to go ahead and whisper him, and we'll see if we can get these off of the guy. We can also look for attack speed. That's another great thing, but later we'll get some much better stuff. But yeah, our gloves, they were due for an upgrade a while back. So hopefully he will respond. Sometimes it takes a player a minute, and like that's the only one I wanted. So if we can't get those ones, I was just gonna look at for another upgrade. But yeah, it's gonna be great because what this allows us to do is these that have resistances, we just swap these off. We get much better items. So yeah, I want those, and I can use those now. Awesome, bam, and I have an extra socket which allows me to throw on Hydrosphere, which is something that I wanted to get. So we can go. You could just go to like, you could type in PoE wiki and then type in like Hydrosphere, and I'll just tell you what it is right now, like where we can get it. So to get it on our class, we needed to get it from Fallen from Grace, which is a quest that if we want to do it, we can do it. I'm kind of lazy, I don't want to do it. Can we get it from Siosa? No, you actually have to get it from Fallen from Grace. Eventually we'll want to get it. We can trade another player for it if we want to, but we're only like 1 hour and 5. Okay, we'll do it real quick. And let's go. So this is the quest, Fallen from Grace, to actually get the item, or to be able to buy the gem. We just got to go down over here and clear out all the enemies. Oh, we just walked into the Sanctum again. Let's go back. It's fine. I could have saved the thing for later, which I should have clicked on. We're gonna put in these items.
I'm so glad you're here.
I think we just have to do the first one or something. Is that how it works? Okay. So then the next one we can save. So I just wanted to save it immediately. So it's weird. It looks like what you can do with these, if you don't want to open up the chest, you can just go to the next. But when an item is corrupted, that means you pretty much can't modify it. You technically can still do it, but it's not the easiest. Wait for that charge to go up. Now we just dash through. Okay, cool. And let's get our reward. 3 chromes? Sure, why not? Orbs of Chances are kind of nice to have as you build them up because you'll be using them for maps later. But let's go get Hydrosphere now because I already did the thing. And the Hydrosphere will technically help us out with damage because it's going to apply what's called exposure. We're going to have to manually cast it right now. It's kind of like Sniper's Mark, where like before we had to manually cast it, and then we have something that automates it. It's kind of the same. So what we're looking for is killing all the enemies here. Okay. 53. We were like really close. I like to being able to use this bow. I would just go do something to get the amount that we need. Does this have any? It doesn't even have lightning damage. It's fine. It was what, 1 chaos orb, so not the big deal. The thing with this area is we got to kill every single enemy. If you play Diablo 1. Or not Diablo 1, Diablo 2, it's like the Den of Evil. There's always one monster. This is why I hate this quest, is there's always one monster that like you don't see. So I'm just going to put a bunch of turrets. Hopefully the turret will find that one last monster. Maybe it's out over here. Sometimes it's faster just to reset the whole thing and just do it that way. But it's good that it happened to me so you know that you're not alone. Okay, there's the... okay, we're good. So now we get to talk to her for a reward. The reward, the reason why I usually don't do it is because it's just like that one monster. It just takes an extra minute. We get 2 respec points, which isn't like bad, but it's just like, it's not really necessary. But now she has a bunch of gems just kind of like Siosa. So what we want to get is Hydrosphere. So type in Hydro, go to the blue one, and there it is. Unfortunately, we can't even use it because we require 79 intelligence. So later down the line, we will grab this intelligent node for temporary purposes, but we can't use the gem, so that's kind of unfortunate. Add lightning damage and siege ballista. Oh, well, that one kind of like helps out. All right, so we have another gem socket. We could actually look for a better helmet, and I could get a flask that applies onslaught if I wanted to. This amulet could honestly be replaced as well. Let's go ahead and check out. And what I like to do when I play Path of Exile is I like to have a bunch of tabs open up, and I just keep on refreshing them once in a while. So like this one over here, I'll refresh. This is the one that has an amulet with Vengeance Cascade. So what are the filters right now? We have max I think. What's our currency at right now? We have 5 chaos orbs, so that's the most we can spend. So we're gonna input that, and we still have only 8 results. Okay. So there's no HP on this one. There's HP, accuracy, dex, and int. Free shock and night. It's okay. I mean, it gives me accuracy. It's just the Vengeance Cascade is so good, and it is. And for 5 chaos orbs, just to get it alone is kind of nice. This one has 30 lightning resist. Do I want to have the 50 life, or because this one has intelligence, which would help out, and it has accuracy, which it's a small amount. But I'm okay on resistances right now. I'd rather take the life, so we will whisper this guy. You don't have to get this. Again, everything that I'm mentioning. It's just like if you want to. Again, this free shock and night kind of helps out, but it's just this is just so great to have earlier on. Oh, he sold the item perhaps. Oh, he just got offline. That's unlucky, and that happens sometimes. Sometimes what they do is they swap characters or they re-log in because like they lagged out or something. So if you whisper them once and like you get nothing, like nothing happens. Oh, okay, seller's not online. Okay, it happened again. So he might actually have just gone offline. The other one was that 30 lightning resistance. We get like, oh, this one has life too. Wait, this one's way better then. Why was I looking at that one? What did that one do? Oh, that one gave us extra accuracy. Because we're going to lose like 100 accuracy. 146 accuracy. And then we also lose on blind, which is survivability, but it's like whatever. The fire res doesn't matter because we got this that gave us a bunch of extra resistances. And we should be still good on fire res, right? Okay, cool. So, yeah, let's get the one that has the extra lightning damage to attacks. And dexterity, and it has a socket. Yeah. So hopefully he responds, and while we're waiting for him. All right. Yeah, Vengeance Cascade is just so great. And there we go. Bam. And now we got the Vengeance Cascade, and we have the extra blue socket, which we could maybe use for something later. Okay. Nice, nice. So what is it? I think our HP was 2200. Also, this is our hideout. We have you can customize your hideout in the game. It's not like a built-in. They didn't put 2B from near. It's just a really cool preset. You can like download other like people's hideouts as well. You can do it to your own hideout. We'll talk more about that later if you want to, but it's not like important for the campaign. And we're about like an hour now. But yeah, we got our amulet. We don't have any other currency to spend, but we can always refresh this just to see what's over here. We have a 6th link. Oh, this one has lightning damage? Wait, the DPS is really low. Alright, so for 5 Chaos Orbs, I could have gotten this, which has lightning. Oh, this one was pretty good. Dang. Well.
Oh my god, stop, bro. I'm stuck. Can you help me?
Okay. Let's keep on going. Alright, so now we are coming up to a boss. Alright, so we swapped this. We got our new... well, we were supposed to sell that to the vendor. This... Maybe we can sell these for like an Al Chaos, but it's like whatever. I don't really care about it right now. So now we're going to find the exit here. Oh, we should have just took the portal, but so you can see, it's kind of hard to see because there's so much. You see the projectiles coming back, and this is going to be a massive increase to DPS. Ooh. Dropped a jewel. What we should also be on the lookout for is a jewel that has immunity to corrupted blood. Oh, were we right at the exit? Alright, hold on. If we're right at the exit, I should have just taken the portal. Let's go take the portal if it's still up. Sometimes after a certain duration or you like move too many times, the portal will go away. Alright, so let's go right back here. Oh no, that was a Twilight Strand. That's right, because we warped back in. Alright, so we're going to have to do the walk back to the boss. But we already have the map revealed. So we can, I don't think this connects, so we're going to have to go this way. What we can do is we can hold control of them, that way we can like refresh the area if I wanted to. And I could care less about doing that because we have so much movement speed that we're just going to rush anyways to the area. Boss? Hello? I think we broke the boss. Oh, okay. Alright, so here's the ranking. So how this boss works is you kind of want to stay a little bit far away. There's summoned a bunch of small little crabs, but The only thing that's going to really do damage, like there's a swipe and there's a little like slam attack. There's a slam attack. It's kind of very similar to most of the bosses in PoE, which is basically, if it's looking at you, don't look at it. Like you want to make it so it doesn't look directly at you. And just shoot once or twice, move. When he stops moving and he does this attack, you want to look at the ground for these little white circles. The white circles will do damage to you, but like as long as they're not on you, you're fine. During that animation, set your turrets back up. Get some extra damage in. Use the slam attack. And when you put all these turrets up, try to like put them spread apart so it doesn't get rid of them too fast. So once again, the white circles don't stand on them. There's also like these extra little like water spouts that shoot out, but the main thing is that lightning thing is what's going to kill you. If you're going to die, it's usually that. But we're like capped out on resistances, so it'll probably be okay. Even if we did get hit by it, but I'd rather not get hit. Usually when I do playthroughs, we have usually 0 deaths, but you can see like right there, I just took about like half our HP, just one hit. It's pretty hard. There's not very much area to move. There we go. We got him. Get the quiver. And the Bausch is gone. And we can identify, see if it's any good. Oh, it's got 4 life, triple res, but the numbers are all low. This one, we got a double res, adds 2 different damage, and it has some life. And now we get the Brine King Pantheon, which is one of the best ones. Is we're gonna eventually get this thing where we cannot be frozen. It's one of the best things. And now we're going to sail to the bridge encampment, which is going to go ahead and wrap up part 6, Act 6 of our PoE playthrough. So we just get to go right into Act 7. So that wraps up Act 6. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like on your way out. I really appreciate it. It helps out the channel. And I'll see you guys on port 7 very, very soon. Peace.